Most coaches aren't happy. Most coaches don't know where they're getting the next client from. Most coaches that I talk to feel more like a hamster on a hamster wheel than they feel like a lifestyle business owner that is actually there to impact people and make a profit. And I'm going to show you practically how, after taking a week and a half off of work to step out of my business, spend time with the Lord, that I came up basically with this new framework that I'm so excited to show you guys. I think you could literally change everything and take you from potentially being that hamster on the hamster wheel to building a business that you truly love, that truly exists for really two reasons. And for a long time, I've coached people. We've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people build successful online coaching businesses. Maybe some of you guys followed me from the very beginning, or you found me just now, and you've seen me win, a couple 2 Comma Club awards, the school games. You've seen all the people that we've helped. You've seen me go from not having any kids to having 2 kids now to, just becoming who I'm becoming along the journey. And I wish I would have known this so much sooner. And really, the Lord spoke this to me, married with a couple of AI prompts, that I was searching, which I'm going to explain in this video, how to use AI actually to build this lifestyle model and vision for you. And I'm going to show you exactly how you do it. But number one, the business is here to profit. If you're not making profit, you're not going to get the results you want. I think back to a couple years ago, I had a month where I made $100,000 in profit, followed by an $80,000 month in profit, $70,000 month in profit. And then what I did was I felt like the right thing for me to do was build a really big team and try and scale, right? Get to like 300, 500K a month. And I started to pray, and the Lord spoke this to me, which is what I'm going to show you guys. And that's really not what I feel called to do. I feel called to impact people, help raise people up out of, poverty, out of, poverty thinking, out of bad mindsets, and really show people what's possible. What's crazy about this is right before I recorded this video, one of my old students, his name is Juan. I don't know if the video is going to allow us to see it, but nonetheless, Juan, cool guy. I believe he was from Mexico, Spanish-speaking author, and he joined my program. He sent me a voice note about a year later, right? A year after being in the program, and he's like, dude, I'm here in Dubai. I just moved. Just wanted to say, dude, you literally changed my life, and thank you, God bless you, all these different things. And so that's my purpose, right? To help people pay off debt, to build a business that they love, to make an impact in this world, to actually achieve something bigger than, just building a coaching business to make money, right? It's so much bigger than that. And if that doesn't resonate with you, then you're not the type of person I want to work with anyway. So I want to show you what I've been doing. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So I want to talk to you about being an impact-driven coach, okay? And like I talked about already in this video at the beginning, my business in 2023, we're doing anywhere from, 130 to, even $220,000 a month. And that was amazing. It was super profitable. Literally had a team of 3 people. So there was me, we had our CSM, and then we had our setter/closer. So he was doing both. And the business was super profitable, a lot of recurring revenue. And really, we were making a ton of impact. And basically, I got in my head due to, honestly, I don't even know what it was. I think just feeling called to more, thinking that the right answer was actually to scale and go further and all that. And what I realized is, over this last week and a half, that I never truly heard the Lord say that. I have words from the Lord saying I'm going to make $1 million a month. And some of you listening are like, what the heck? And what does that mean? Well, practically it just means I felt like the Lord put that on my heart. Why? That's the question that the Lord cares the most about, right? Why do you want to build your coaching business? Why do you want to scale it? Why do you want to do all the stuff that you say you want to do? So that's what we need to uncover in this video. Because if not, you're literally going to feel like a hamster on a hamster wheel for the rest of your life. And this is the framework that I believe not only is completely biblical, but could change your life literally in this video more so than any coaching program ever could. If you apply what I'm telling you to apply, it goes beyond just the coaching business, right? It's a framework that could literally change your life spiritually forever. So here's the goal. All of you guys watching this video feel called to do something big, right? So we'll call it your big purpose, right? There's a big purpose on your life. How do I know that? Because the Bible says he formed you in your mother's womb and set out a plan for you, right? So God has a purpose on your life. So us humans, it's like sometimes hard to fathom like how big the purpose really is, right? Because maybe some of you guys are like, man, I feel called to fill stadiums. I feel called to write books. I feel called to speak, do podcasts, do all these different things. That's incredible. But we really need to dumb it down into no longer than a year. So I want you basically to do the framework on your own time that I'm showing you live in this video because I think it's super powerful for setting goals, and I think it could change the way you think about your business and what it's there for. So to become an impact-driven coach, you have to want to make an impact. So what I want you to do is spend time with the Lord over the next few weeks, or even today, or even right now, and just ask yourself, what's the big purpose? And this is what I did. So what I did was I said, I want to do a couple things, right? I want to launch an offer showing people how to deal with their personal finances. Like that's just always been a passion. Okay. I want to buy my grandpa a truck. Okay. For Christmas, right? I want to pay for all of our churches. They're called Hope Nights. Basically, it's $5,000. There's three of them left this year, and people preach, people get saved, that good stuff. So I want to pay for all those. I want to fund an outreach for Pastor Tony. He's a pastor who's spoken in my life a lot up in Baltimore. I also want to fund all of our Men of God retreats. We have one more this year. I want it to be completely free. So Men of God retreat. And I want to build massive wealth and help other people do the same, make impact. Okay. So I quickly realized, and then practically, I also want to tithe a lot, right? So I'm going to put that in there. Tithe a lot. And really, the number that gets me excited there is I want to tithe 5K a month. And, my business used to be in a place where like that was like a no brainer, like super easy to do every month. However, focusing so much on growth has really affected the profit. It's still been great, like a great business, super blessed, doing well. However, recentering with like why I'm doing all this stuff really helps. So basically, I wrote all this stuff out. So this is what I want to do. And I was like, all right, Lord, so what does that mean that I need to profit? Okay, so instead of asking what you need to do in revenue, right? First, get your big goals, like what you feel like your purpose is, then track backwards to how much money per month in profit do you need to achieve that? And for me, I'm sure there's going to be several months where it's a lot more, right? I need 50K a month in profit, right? And that's not out of the blue, like that happens often, okay? But now it's going to happen every single month based on the training that I'm showing you. So, what does this mean? Like, how do we get there, right? And so, if you guys have any data or scorecards or anything like that, I'm just going to tell you what I did in real time. So, I uploaded all of my L10 data, right? And my scorecards, right? Basically, your data sheets, your trackers, into ChatGPT, and it has literally all of the team members on here. It has literally everything in my business on this tracker. So I uploaded this into chat, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, take this data. Well, actually, I did a voice memo, right? This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I sell. This is the price of the current offers, and so on. And then I said, what I'm about to do is upload my QuickBooks P&L, And so that way you can see where all the money goes. I'm going to upload my P&L. And after I do that, I want you to tell me the most realistic way for me to achieve um, my purpose goals and to build a coaching business that's simple, super profitable, happy to build and all that. And basically, what it spit out was a complete game changer because oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we can be super ambitious. And as coaches, we can overestimate. Like, for instance, I talk to coaches all the time. They're like, dude, I want to make 100K a month in profit. It's like, dude, that's amazing, but why? Right? When in reality, like to fulfill what God's called you to do, it might only be 20K a month, but actually have time freedom. Right? So for me, my North Star, if you will, in this season is 50K a month profit, but to do it um, in integrity, which not that I haven't, but in integrity with the goals that are to the right, right? That's the key thing. Everything that my business does is to do this, right? And I'm sure there's more, but these are just the first few that I typed out. So it spit out this model, which is the same model really I've been doing. It just requires a few key changes, right? Which is, tweaking the team a little bit, right? Tweaking the ad spend and basically going from trying to scale, right? Which is what I help people do, to um, really just focus on profit. What does that mean? Instead of trying to spend 60 or 70K a month on ads, it looks more like spending 30 and going really, really deep with all of our current clients and helping them get to the next level. And the whole point of me being transparent and making this video really is for the first piece. Most people don't know what they're called to do. They're not sure what their big purpose is. They're not sure, um, you know, how to manage the money. They think they need a lot more than they really do. So then it affects you in the sense of like you feel like you always have to push, right? So whenever you're running your coaching business, right? Let's say you're at 15K per month and you want to get to 100, okay? Right? Like if that's the North Star, right? There's a couple things that have to happen, right? Mindset, right? Your offer, okay? You have to have an offer that can actually scale that far. Then your marketing, right? You have to have funnels that allow you to get there. But to do 100K a month, like don't forget, you're going to have a sales process or some type of recurring model. And you're going to have a team. Okay. You're going to have different team members, right? They're going to have to manage. You're going to have to train. They're going to have to hold up to KPI. And then it actually becomes a lot harder, uh, you know, to achieve because you have to become the person that's able to achieve it all. However, is it possible? Totally. Right? Did I do it? Yes. Have I helped other people do it? A lot. Right? But point is, not everybody should even get here. Right? You might be happier doing 40K a month. Right? 40K a month, profiting 10 a month. Right? And maybe that's where you feel the most in alignment. So basically, the whole point of this video is build the coaching business that you feel empowers you to achieve your purpose, not the coaching business that everybody is telling you to build. You might not need a low ticket funnel. You might not need a challenge funnel. You might not need a school funnel. You might only need to do Instagram, right? To get to 30 to 40K a month, 20K a month profit. You might only need a setter, right? And your sales process could be you taking Zoom calls or DM closing, right? Because you have a really good VSL, right? And it doesn't have to be this huge complicated thing. Instead of having 5 offers, like why not just have one? You know, why not actually commit to being the person you feel called to be um, everywhere instead of just when the camera's off? Why don't you start telling people your story? And a lot of times, people also feel shame and guilt because they're not being and showing up how they feel called to show up in the world. It's like God's put this on your life. You know you're called, you're empowered, but instead you like hide back, you shrink back because you want to fit in with everybody else. You want to talk about money and you want to talk about scaling and funnels and ads, but in reality, you're different. So step into that, right? So you've got to have the right mindset. Simplify your offers, man. simplify your funnels, spend less on ads if you want to. Ask the Lord, what do I need? And the Bible says this. It says, don't overwork to get rich. And then it also says, Lord, give me not too much that I would become prideful, and too little that I would come to resent you, but give me just what I need. So I'm not saying don't become wealthy. I believe that is definitely, something the Lord has for you if you steward your life right and put Him first, and use money to build His kingdom for sure. I'm 100% advocate in that. But what do you need to do? What is your purpose, and how much does that cost to fund in the earth, right? So it's like there's no point in getting more money if you're not going to do anything good with it, right? So hopefully this little tidbit added some value. I mean, practically, just to recap, what I would do if I was you guys. Number one, I would write out your impact list. What is the list of things you want to do to impact people, right? Then I would ask yourself not how much revenue, but how much profit per month do you need to achieve that goal? Okay. And then I would build the model, right, that achieves that for you with the simplest, fastest, easiest, nothing's easy, but if it was easy, the easiest route, right? Put this in there, with the least stress. So this was what I would be focused on as an online coach, to stop feeling like you're a hamster on a freaking hamster wheel and building a real business that makes impact. So if this video helped you and you're like, Brandon, this was a game changer for me, dude, like I don't have, my priorities in the right spot. Like there's a lot of inner work I feel like I could do. And I really want somebody who's an expert in this stuff to help me do it and help me build these plans and help, push me up to the next level. And you're curious about what it would look like to work with us. What I want you to do is one of two things. Number one, you can book in a call with us and my team. And what that's going to do is basically get you on a Zoom call. We're going to get a sense of where you're at currently, where you want to get to, and then identify any roadblocks that could potentially be holding you back. Oftentimes, it's less about the strategy and it's more about how you feel internally, how you are operating, your beliefs, how you are with the Lord, right? All these different things. And then potentially, will help with some strategy too. And if we think we can help, we'll show you about either our START program, which is for people who already have a coaching business that are below $10,000 a month, or Scale, where we'll work closely together to help really scale everything to the next level. Again, always a risk in business, never any guarantees. I work with people who already understand, right, that this is an actual business. It's going to be really hard. It's not going to be easy, but you can simply attack this, right? So that's the goal here on that call. And if we think we can help, we'll show you what it looks like. And the second thing is, if you're like, dude, I don't want to do any of that, there is a link to join my free school group where I've got a ton of resources. Either one is a great option. But again, really the purpose of this video is just to add value. And if it helped, I would love if you just put prayer emoji down below. Let me know you watched this video, maybe prayed the prayer, and hopefully it helped you shift things and give you a North Star to aim for as you're building your coaching business.